Perhaps you've seen this small paperclip icon in Tableau. Well, this little icon is a visual cue that represents groups. Groups are an important functionality. A group lets you combine several members of a single dimension into categories, creating a new dimension field that didn't originally exist in your data. When you have a dimension that contains a detailed list of products and you would like to organize the products into categories that can be used in the view, instead of having to build them in your database, you can easily create your own groups in Tableau. Groups can be created in the Dimensions pane or in the view. The best way to evaluate how you would create your group is to consider whether you have a large list of dimension members or a short list. Short lists are easily grouped from the view, while large lists can be cumbersome to work with, so they're best grouped from the Dimensions pane. Regardless of how you create a group, you'll end up with a new dimension field that can be used in your visualization. The only difference is whether Tableau automatically uses your grouped field in the view for you. You can create groups directly in the Dimensions pane. Let's select Product for this example. Start by right-clicking any dimension and selecting Create, then Group. When the Create Group window appears, select the dimension members you want to group by using Control-click. We can select all the tea drinks and then create a group called Tea. We can repeat the process to create another group. You can rename each group by right-clicking the group name and clicking Rename. Tableau gives you the option to combine any remaining members into a final group named Other, instead of letting them remain separate. Click OK when you're finished. The group dimension is now shown in the Dimensions pane with the paperclip icon next to it. If changes are needed, just right-click the group to edit, rename, or delete the group. You can now use the new group as you would any other dimension. Let's drag it to the view to see our sales values. You can see that the group dimension contains the combined members, coffee, tea, and other that we created in the previous step. Each mark shows the sum of sales for all product members in that group. What if you have a dimension with a really long list of members? Finding and selecting each of the members you want to group can be a slow process. The Find button lets Tableau do that work for you. Click the Find button and the dialog box expands to show the text search field. Under Find Members, type the text you want to search for. We'll search for the brand name Belkin. Then click Find All. Tableau will highlight all the members with Belkin in the name. You can then click the Group button to group all the Belkin members. Another way to create groups is directly in the view. This is most effective when you have a short data list, so you can manually select what you want to group together. You can either select the marks or select the labels. If you want to rename the label used for the new grouped bar, right-click the label and choose Edit Alias. When the group was created in the view, Tableau automatically gave the new group dimension a name based on the original dimension product type. You can change the name by right-clicking the field and selecting Rename. You can create groups directly in the view by selecting the labels. In this example, we're comparing sales values per product type. I'd like to group cups, lids, and napkins together into a new dimension member called Supplies. To do this, we'll select the items we want to group by control-clicking the labels. Once we've chosen the labels, we'll right-click any of the selected labels and choose Group. In the view, all the selected items are grouped together as a single mark. This is because Tableau replaces the original dimension on columns with the new grouped dimension. Also notice that our new group dimension displays in the Dimension pane, so you can use it again in the future. Another way to create a group in the view is by selecting the marks themselves not the labels. This is called visual grouping because Tableau will automatically color the dimension members so that you can see the groups you're creating. To do this, Control-click individual marks to select multiple marks at once. Then right-click on a selected mark and select Group. You can also click and drag to select the marks. A visual grouping automatically changes the color of the marks that were grouped. It does so because an instance of the grouped field that is created in the Dimensions pane is applied to color on the marks card. We have 3 colors in the legend to distinguish between the groups we just created and the rest of the marks. You can customize things further by changing the colors. And you can rename the group by right-clicking on it in the Dimensions pane. Visual grouping can be helpful when doing ad hoc analysis and data exploration, because you immediately see the groups you're creating. No matter which method we choose to create our groups, whether it's from the Dimensions pane or from the view, we can use the resulting grouped field as we would any dimension. There you have it, 3 ways to create groups in Tableau. You can create groups from the Dimensions pane by right-clicking on the original dimension, or in the view, either by selecting the labels in the header, or by selecting the marks to create a visual grouping. Congratulations! Now you can create groups in Tableau. Now get out there and be a data groupie.